achievement. Lying.
Zero state.
Yeah, that's right. Read one that told me it's lying. On camera.
Yeah.
Talk, it's not lying. There we go. Zero state. For the new guys, and for the guys that have been here for a while, have you guys gone through this book? Have you actually sat down and gone through the book and gone through some things? Have you guys, just be honest. Who has not gone through the book at all? Just done homework. Yeah, Sean, thank you for your honesty. Ray, Tracy, thank you. Anybody else? Do yourself a favor, go through the book. There's some good stuff in there, man. Some really good stuff in there. You see yourself now and again. It's very important. If you want to change something in your life, it's very important for you to see yourself. If you cannot see yourself, you cannot change it. You can't. Even worse, thank you. Thank you for money. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you guys. Very nice. I saw it. I was trying to think to myself, is it that cold? Or no? How cold? It's not too cold today. Wait a minute. I think it's even worse if you can see yourself in the mirror. It's going to freak me out. I think there's someone here who's got his door. It's a little weird. You should have followed me before. I think even worse is seeing yourself in the mirror and then doing nothing about it. Have you ever been in the mirror before? You see something in your teeth, or you see that you shaved wrong. Have you guys ever experienced that? Then you walk away and leave it like that. You leave the spinach in your teeth. Do you? You walk away and leave the patch that you left there. Anybody? No. Or someone comes in, you shave the guys that shave their heads. And you've got a friend. There's always a friend that notices, yes, you must have stopped on the back of your head. You immediately want to sort it out. Immediately. This book can do something similar for you. It can actually show you where you might be missing it. The trick is when you see where you might be missing it, whether you're sitting in class or preaching or teaching, when you hear it, the thing is to do something about it. A while back I had the privilege of speaking about, you're very thin still, so put your beanie on. Put it on for yourself, I understand. I know what you're going through. The rest of you guys aren't going through that, so no excuse. Pleasure. A while back I preached about hearing and doing. Remember that you must hear and do. There's many times we've heard things, or we know what to do to change our lives. We just don't do anything about it. Now when you're in an environment like this, you will hear things, and we'll make an excuse not to do anything about it. Then we deceive ourselves by saying, when we leave, we will make these changes. Please do me a favor, not the truth. There's a scripture in Song of Solomon's. It says that the small foxes destroy the vine. The small foxes destroy the vine. The small things. And not the small things that your buddies do that irritate you, or the small things that your loved ones do that irritate you. It's the small things that you do. The small things that you think aren't a big deal that are holding you back. You're thinking, if I just come here and I stop drinking, or stop dragging for the amount of time I've been here, that my life has changed. So I'm healed, I'm free, I can go home now. No, it's not the truth. If your behavior and the way you're responding to pressure and situations is not changing, you're not changing. Simple thing. Your general attitude when something gets said to you or get told to do something. That small thing that you think is not such a big deal, it can be a big deal to you. Remember, it's about you and the way you respond and the way you react. You've got these thinking errors here, and I know they mentioned criminal, but understand, if you continue down this way of thinking, you do become a criminal. Those of you that have been doing drugs long enough, you know. You start doing things you never thought you would do. And when you first start dragging, it's for fun. When you first start using it, it's for fun. It's a joy. And every now and again, you might pull a move. And if you continue down that track, yes, you will be the guy that's going to end up in jail. You will be the guy. You will become the criminal they're talking about, because it's the same thinking that's going to get you there. It's a natural outcome. That's why you have situations where many people, the reason they do a diversion to a section, because they understand that the reason you're doing what you're doing is to get the drugs that you want to get to use. They understand it, but it's not actually criminal. Oh, shame, it's fine. I know you wanted to buy heroin, so it's fine for taking my TV. No, it doesn't work like that. That's fine. I remember hearing of a couple years ago, their daughter was murdered. They were from Germany. And they were actually able to come to South Africa for the trial, for the court case. And the court case actually forgave the person that murdered their daughter. It's powerful, it's very powerful. But anyways, it shows you that you have no matter what you're going through, you don't have any excuse not to respond the right way. Just because you don't feel like responding or reacting the right way does not give you an excuse, because many times when we haven't responded or reacted, respond is a better word, the right way is because of choice, because of the way we feel. We don't feel like it today. So zero state. Thinking area theory. This is the periodic experience of feeling like he's absolute nothing, a zero. It is a feeling of absolute worthlessness, hopelessness, and futility. Have you ever been there? I think I've been there a few times in the past. I normally feel like that when I've been using for a few days. And I made so much struggle that I'm too scared to even phone to let anybody know where I am. Just leave it alone. We know it's going to come. He or she's greatest fear is that he is nothing. That he is nothing. So we've gone through phases where we feel this is where we are, we're never going to change. Okay? You ever felt like that? This is who I am, this is where I am, God knew what He's doing, He's created me, I'm never going to change my life, this is where I'm going to stay. That's not the truth, man. If you stay with the same reference point and you keep going to the same things, it becomes a fact in your life. But as in the truth is that there's a better way. The truth is that God has made a better way for every one of us. But it takes an effort on the way we think and what we look to take it on in our lives. I'm telling you, the cure or the cure for this disease is if you on purpose decide to start living the life that He has paid for you. On purpose decide. If you're one of us that have left or been to more than one rehab, we understand, we take back on our old identity. Never a matter of time we go back to where we were. Those guys can attest it. I'm one of them that can attest it. You let go of that new life, that new beginning. That thing of worthless, and I'm nothing, this is who I am, I might as well continue down this. And you get worse and worse and worse and worse, and then you just hate yourself more and more and more. But be that as it may, it says here, and he compensates by attempting to prove he is everything. And the reason, the way you'll know if you're doing this type of thing where you are in a zero state and you feel like you're worthless is when you're trying to be something to somebody or act a certain way or prove to someone that you are somebody and the pressure's on, guess what happens? You fall. You fall. Let's say you think you're a big fighter, men that fight, and the situation's on and someone takes you on, you fall because you don't really believe that about yourself, but you portray that you're that person. Or you say to yourself, then I'm going to do it this year in college, or do it this year in school. And as soon as there's pressure, as soon as someone comes walking up to you and says, do you want a joint? You choose the joint over the accounting class you're supposed to go to. Huh? As soon as the pressure's on. That's zero, you're actually in that zero state. And then you try and pretend you're everything. Dad, I'm going to go, I'm going to make it happen this year, I'm sorry for everything I've done, I'm going to make the school work, I'm going to make this work, tell your girlfriend or your loved one you're sorry, you're going to make this and this work, and as soon as the pressure's on, you fold. Because that's not really what you believe about yourself. Remember, we do what we do because we believe what we believe. We would be good fathers if we truly believed we were good fathers. We would be good mothers if we truly believed we were good mothers. We would respond accordingly. The reason we respond a certain way is because we don't really believe that about ourselves. So it's very important to change what you believe about yourself. Do you love yourselves? Some of you might say you love yourself. Okay. How do you know you love yourself? One of the good measurements you may use or can use to prove if you love yourself, where God says, not the vain love, is by the way you treat other people. Do you know that? Someone said, okay, how have you been treating your mom or your dad or your kids? How have you been treating them? So then answer the question now again. Do you love yourself? If you love yourself, you'll respond accordingly. If you're not responding accordingly, I'm willing to bet you that you experiencing the zero state. You don't think much of yourself. You don't believe much of yourself, even though you're trying to convince yourself and those around you that you actually do. Your actions say that you don't. Corrective. Learn to see yourself as others see you. Some people don't like you. Some people might like you. But there's a saying that goes, eat the chicken, spit out the bones. Right? Heard this saying? Eat the chicken, spit out the bones. If you go to KFC and there's a bone in the middle of the leg, do you not eat the chicken? You throw it away. Oh, check this bone, damn it. Now do you do that? This juicy piece of KFC. I know you guys are looking at it. Check there we go. You're licking your lips already. Do you throw the chicken away? You get this breast, and you see this big bone, and you're like, oh, excuse me. And you chuck it down. So why do we do that with life? Why do we do it when people correct us or people talk to us about ourselves? Why do we throw away the whole thing? Why don't you eat the chicken? Spit out the bones. Son, learn to see yourself as others see you. Listen to what people say about you. Listen to what people talk to you about. Sean?
So I just wanted to ask.
Why call you sir?
Rolf?
Yes.
Rolf, I just wanted to ask, like you say, learn to see yourself as others see you. What if people see you as a bum, or as a, like you said, some people...
Then ask yourself the question, why they see you as a bum. Ask yourself, ask them. People are going to see you as a bum just willy-nilly. Oh, you know what, you look like a bum. No ways, man. I know you pretty well. You've got the booze, man. Are you able to? So obviously, no, he does. He's good with his mouth. If you took the opportunity to school with both hands, you'd be excelling. Let me tell you something now. The way they see you, you see yourself like that as well. I don't know that. You're speaking this chair. So despite that, listen to why. Look at why they see you like that. That's what I'm trying to say. Why do they say you are arrogant? Why do they say that you are a bum? Why would they say that? Why would they say that?
I'm just asking in terms of what, like, okay, let me use me as an example. There at school, we were a small class, right? So most of the kids there saw me as the superhero, and that got to my head, and understand?
Says here that he is nothing, and he compensates by attempting to prove he is everything.
Okay.
Learn to see yourselves as others see you. Lower your unrealistic expectations and goals. Lower. There's only setting goals this side, and you can't achieve this goal. Having a goal to take over the world, or take over South Africa, or become the next best thing, the CEO vibe, and you can't make 6 months of a program at Jericho. That's madness. You can't do something simple as coming through a program. You can't do something as simple as listening to your counselor tell you, look, you're done. Or in a class, or in a preaching, and you think you're going to take over the world. No, it's impossible. It's like pinky the brain. No, what we're going to do tonight, the same thing we do every night, is try and take over the world. No? And he almost gets every time. Have you seen the Pinky and Brain version where you actually realize that Pinky is actually the genius? Have you ever seen that episode? You guys can go look for it when you need. Learn to believe that the feeling of worthlessness are temporary. We base a lot of our decision making on things that are temporary. A lot of the times. Now, for example, if I come and correct Carmel, you know you're meant to be here. You know you're meant to do things properly, change what you need to change by thinking, and then so one day I come up to you and you've done something that I believe was incorrect, and I correct you. I say, Carmel, not good, my man. And you take offense, and you have this feeling of anger, and so you throw out what generally happens to us if we throw the whole thing out. We don't want to be here anymore, we don't want to continue anymore. What happened? What happened yesterday? You know you're supposed to be here, you know you're supposed to do what you need to do, and what happens in one situation, one circumstance, when someone comes to correct you or tries to guide you, it doesn't exist anymore. We base our decision on the way forward based on how we feel right now. That is why we run after the drugs. That is why we walk away from someone we said we won't use anymore. We feel like an hour later, and instead of keeping our promise based on the way we feel right now, we're going to buy more. Or we finally get our first paycheck after however long we've been without a job, and now we can pay for our rent, or now we can pay for groceries, and on the way to the grocery store you think, just one more time. Just a little bit. And by the end of the evening you get no more grocery money, or no more rent money. Because we base our decisions on things that are temporary. When you get to it, you don't feel like being here anymore, or you think you've made a mistake. You're basing your decision on the way forward based on how you feel right now. It's temporary. It's temporary. We cannot base our decisions on those things. We cannot. No matter what the situation is, no matter what the circumstance is, we cannot base our decision. It's a no-go. Doesn't matter how much you justify it, it's a no-go. You can't, because it's temporary. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Most of us here have been in love more than once. Or we believe we're in love. I'm sure you remember maybe a girl or a guy from when you were in primary school, or a girl or a guy when you were in early high school. And you always remember this one that broke your heart. You know, and then you think, I'll never find anybody else ever again. I'll never be in love ever again. And what happens? You meet another one, another partner, and you fall in love again. And then miraculously it's bad again. It's a cycle over and over again. Something happens again. You think you'll never find that love again. It's because we're basing our decisions on our partners, our partnership with the girl or the guy, based on how we feel right now. We cannot base it because those feelings are able to change. Just FYI, Love is a choice. Love is a choice. You choose to love through your actions. Scriptural application, there's millions of scriptures, so I'm not going to go through all them now. Recognize who you are in Christ. Have a different reference point, a different place of seeing where you reference yourself from. It's not looking at what he says about you, but what he says about you in him, not what he says about you in you. Because I don't know about you, but we can make many mistakes. We can make mistakes in the way we think. We can make mistakes in what we say. We can make mistakes in what we do. So if we're going to make ourselves our own God, we're going to miss it completely. If you're getting it 100% right, you're good. No, you can still make mistakes. The scripture says a righteous man falls 7, stands up 8. For us, in our minds, a righteous man or woman never falls, never makes mistakes. Huh? You get it? We don't have to make mistakes because we're righteous. No, it says a righteous man falls, stands up. What makes him righteous is him standing up and continuing. Those guys that are here for a second or 100th time, you're righteous because you're standing up. Those who give up on yourselves and think that you're in the zero state of mind and you're worth nothing, and you stay down, you become a fool. You become a fool. Stand up. Don't be grandiose. Stand up and that's where it comes from. Learn to see yourself as others see you. Just understand why they think what they think about you. Understand why they say what they say about you. And yes, a lot of time they can add on. Add a bit of sauce, pepper sauce, and chili sauce, and they can add on. But there's still some truth to it. No matter what people say about you, there's some truth to what they say. Even if they added on 90% of it, there's maybe 10%. Take that 10%, see it for what it is, and make the necessary change. Other 90%, move it away. Give it up to you. Give it to you. Let it go. Okay, a lot of scripture. You are accepted in Christ. So whether people outside do not accept you, when I came back a while back, I burnt my bridges properly. Properly. No one wanted to talk to me. No one. Literally, no one wanted to talk to me. I remember my damage letter. When the damage letter was done, everybody just sat in that. Everybody just sat there. I mean, I passed the valley, and it was damaged. Only one person did. The rest didn't do anything. And we sat, damage letter was read out. And when Pastor Valley had finished reading the damage letter, it was stop. It was like this. There. That's the impression. Does anybody have anything to say to Ralph? No one even said Google Bar. They just sat. You can imagine. It was a serious damage letter. It was bad. And I remember he looked at me and said, well, do you have anything to say? I said, what do I say to that? What can I say? See there. What can I say? I didn't even have the unction or the unction me to say it. It was really harsh. Because I knew. I accepted that letter. Same person that wrote that letter, I can tell you that now they don't feel the same way about me now. At all. Complete turnaround. But it's taken years. I believe God's not respected a person. I believe God can do the same in everyone else. Make the necessary choices to make that change. Like Michael Jackson. My friend Barris has written something down here. I like it very much. Depression is the emotional result of hopelessness. Depression is the emotion of hopelessness. You just think, I've spoken to someone, I love one of myself recently, and you can hear they're hopeless. But that hopelessness is based on a temporary feeling because the next day they're running around hustling. So much for being hopeless. Depression, if you're a depressed person and you're down a lot, it's also a state of being unthankful, ungrateful. If you're depressed, if you're down, also depression, you've been really down. If you're down now, take into consideration where you're at right now. What are you thankful for? If you're down now, if you're depressed now, what are you thankful for? Nothing. Zip. It's a state of being ungrateful. There's nothing to be thankful for. Did you have food this morning? You know, some people don't get food. I know it's awful, but then you sit here depressed. Are there still maybe people that care about you, maybe paying for your program? And we get depressed. Being depressed is a state of mind of being ungrateful. You're not grateful. So how do you think it is to become? That's the right word. I think it's right. Not undepressed or non-depressed or however you want to say that. What do you think you must start doing? Everybody got the...
Being grateful.
Thank you. Yes, being grateful. Thank you for the 30-second shower. Or thank you for Lawrence's house. Thank you. Thank you that I can still talk. I saw pictures recently. I showed one or two guys here of pictures recently, and I've been in a state, in that time, I've been in states where I thought I was never ever going to come down. Ever. I thought I'd fried my brain. I'm not coming down from this. It's over. It's finished. And I know that I'm a bit loony to you still now, sitting in front of you, but I'm functioning. Am I not? I can connect. I can speak to you guys. Some of you laugh at me. So thank God that even from that time I can stand in front of you and make some sense. Thank God. So even in that state of mind when I thought I was done, it's over and done with, I'll never be the same, never amount to anything, start being grateful. Start being grateful. Joy is the emotional result of hope. Let me tell you something, no matter how much barakas you've made, or how many bad decisions you've made, or how many times you've made the bad decision, there's always hope. Why do you still have breath? Any zombies here? Any zombies? Anyone here? Just tell me you're a zombie. You're all breathing. Some of you look like you're not breathing, let's be honest. You have hope. Doesn't matter what you've done. Doesn't matter what's hanging over your head. There is hope. I can guarantee you there's hope. Not only through myself or my life and what I've been through as a person, but I've seen it in others. I've seen what He's able to do. There is hope. Peace is an emotional result of faith. I like that. My friend Lawrence, I like it very much. Peace is an emotional state of faith. Faith in you. Because remember, peace is not a feeling, it's a person. Person. And that person, I believe, is this person is around us and he's waiting for us just to say, you know what, and that gives you faith. That gives you faith. No matter how bad it is, how much you've messed up, there's opportunity. I like Gerald Egan makes a statement. It says that a problem is an unused opportunity. If you have problems, you have problems. It's an opportunity. It's an unused opportunity. So, you want to change the situation? Use the opportunity. If Jericho is a problem for you, use the opportunity. It's no longer be a problem. You like that song? Recognize that you are insecure in Christ. People are people. They're going to get disappointed. You're going to hurt each other. You're not going to be perfect. Your best friend that's been your best friend for years can end up becoming your worst enemy for a week or two. I've experienced that before. Completely dislike each other. Be friends again after many years. Recognize that you are significant in Christ. Some signs of low self-esteem are, I like this one very much, compulsive behavior. For us, I think it's such a benefit. Compulsive behavior is a result or fruit of low self-esteem. Low self-esteem, another intolerant or judgmental comments about others. Intolerant. So remember, intolerant and judgmental comments are hand in hand. So if your comments are intolerant, if you speak in truth, different. But if your comments are intolerant, it's a sign of low self-esteem. Demanding or perfectionist attitude. Some things we expect others to do, we can't do ourselves. You know. There's a word, but practice what you preach. I said, I was at the privilege of preaching in Vicksburg recently, and I just said that, and it's something you've heard, that people don't, kids in particular, the people that look up to you, don't do what you say, they do what you do. My son recently walked to the bathroom, and his mother asked, what is he going to do? And he used the word, piss. Whoa! What you doing? That's not a terrible word, but it's not something you come in. It was me, it's my fault. When you're going laugh, I'm going to go, I got some of that Joburg swag. I'm sure you guys noticed some of those moments. And I realized my sons pick up on it. My sons pick up on it. Whoa, Nancy, no! Michelle, it's your fault. Yes, Michelle. And now I'm going to say, well, you gave him the wee-wee. Movie, man. Still gonna do. Life can be fun sometimes. It's just to see the moments when they present themselves. And he's like surprised, like this. What have I done wrong? Doesn't suit you. Depression, sign of low self-esteem, false pride and arrogance, hypersensitivity and self-consciousness. People that are in dysfunctional behavior, in addition, you find me very sensitive people. Yes, we're sensitive, man. Hey, you know what I mean? Like, think about it here. You walk out and the oak's still waking up, and the person looks at you, you're busy in your head. And the person, I didn't greet me this morning, man. You didn't say, how can you believe it? Didn't greet me. Ralph, he just walked through the dining hall, doesn't say anything to me. Hey, ever been there? Of course we've been there. We're super sensitive. It's a sign of low self-esteem. Ouch, ouch. If you're super sensitive about those things, it's a sign of low self-esteem. And I'm noticing in life that any time you can be that sensitive, and you can choose not to be that sensitive. And I'm telling you, there's a lot more strength when you're not that sensitive. A lot more power when you're not that sensitive. We think being sensitive and pointing out all the situations or why we're the way we are makes us powerful. No, it doesn't. It makes us weak. It makes us extremely weak. I said we have one mouth, 2 ears. What do you think we should do more? I know, talk. It's amazing what the drugs do to us nowadays, especially the others. What do? We don't shut up. We wonder why our lives don't change. You don't keep quiet, man. Here we go. Some keys to improving self-esteem. Now, this is what I'm talking about. For those of you, read this section. Look at this section. Here are some keys to improve low self-esteem or come out of low self-esteem. How many of you have been here for? Well, how many of you guys, if you know or seen that you have low self-esteem and you don't think much of yourself, ask yourself the question: how many of you are applying the answers to it? Think about it. Bet you almost none of you. Some keys to improving self-esteem are. This is a big one. I like this one. Give up the right to judge, blame, and condemn yourself and others. Give up that right. It's powerful. It's very powerful. Give up that right. Just get in touch with your feelings. It's difficult. Get in touch with your feelings. Understand why you're feeling what you're feeling. Don't react to how you feel. Understand. I believe that when you start feeling a certain way, that it's God trying to tell you that you're about to grow. That you're about to grow. And every time we try and get rid of that feeling by using drugs or running to relationships, we stunt our growth. I truly believe when you feel uncomfortable and things are happening, it's a sign that you're about to grow. You ever did say when you're younger, growing pains, when your arm hurts, or and people often say it's growing pains, so when you're fine. I believe that's what happens inside of you. Something's about to happen, something's making you uncomfortable, you're not happy with a certain situation, and if you go through the situation, you'll grow. If you walk away from it or avoid it, you'll stand there still. You'll start to grow. Let me ask you a question now. How many times have we avoided situations because we don't like the way it makes us feel? How many times? But also, how many times have you stunted the growth that needs to take place? Let me tell you something, in life there's no shortcut. So when you come here, the things you should have experienced or gone through when you were 10, or 11, or 12, guess what you're going to still do? So now you're an adult. All of us here are adults. We don't have any teenagers here, we're not allowed to. So all of us are above 18. If you put an adult, or person that thinks is an adult, in a situation that's meant for teenagers, doesn't it offend you? What? Who do you think you're speaking to? Or, I'm older than you, what's your problem? Back at the ranch, you still need to go through that, no matter how you see it. You still need to go through that thing. You need to still handle that situation like an adult, or handle that situation when you were 13, or you have to handle what happens here. You can't avoid it now because you're 40, or 29, or 20. Unfortunately for you, you decided not to take the test. You decided not to go through the situation, so guess what? It happens here. You will face the same emotional distress over and over again until you pass the test. And it will come again, but it'll be a lot easier. You won't see it that same way anymore. Like for example, All of us have competed in some way. The first time we compete, there is a nervousness. Whether it's soccer, whether it's rugby, whether it's martial arts, whatever we compete. You remember that feeling? Well, the first time we go to school. First time we go to school, and our parents drop us off. Okay? And mommy and daddy duck, or mommy, or whoever's in your life ducks, and they leave you there by yourself. Okay? It's hard. It's very hard. But we ask a question. If our mothers and fathers who ever took us to school for the first time decided to cave into the way we felt about going to school that first time, would any of us ever gone to school? I know none of us haven't competed at school, but many of us have been through the grades, through the prime, many of us. We'd never have gone there, we'd never gone through that thing. Same as with sports, etc. And what happens when you go over and over again, it becomes, the same thing happens over and over again. Go to university, go to a new job, the same thing, but because you've gone through the way it makes you feel, you're a lot stronger for it, you're a lot more comfortable in it. But you cannot avoid that. So if you avoid primary school, and you avoid high school, and by some strange chance you're a super genius and now you can go to varsity, guess what you've got to face when you go to varsity? The same thing you've got to face when you're in grade 1. Doesn't matter if you're 20 or 18 or 19, you still have to face the same thing and go through the same thing. Learn to accept praise from others. Speak up for yourself. Yes, that's a tough one for us, eh? Because when are we speaking up for ourselves or when we're just being asses? So for me, personally, I'll give up that right to speak up for myself sometimes. Just to go through. Because sometimes you want to speak up to yourself out of vanity, out of ego, more than it being correct. Many times. And especially us, that abuse drugs and alcohol, we just want to run our mouths or something. Sometimes just keep quiet until you have enough substance to speak up for yourself. Until you have substance. Until why you're saying it is truth, not because you feel it's unfair. Because many things we feel are unfair. Avoid putting yourself down by your actions. If your actions are incorrect and you're not behaving, you're putting yourself down. No one else is putting you down, you're putting you down. Be proud of the unique, special person God has made you. Think, speak, and act positively. What's it? Your attitude determines your altitude. Right? Your attitude. And develop the divine viewpoint. I believe that's one of the main things why you're here. Yeah, when you're here, you need to develop the divine viewpoint. God sees you. You need to develop that viewpoint. If you leave here and you haven't developed that viewpoint, it's a matter of time until you fall. That must be stronger. The viewpoint and how He sees you must be stronger than the way you see yourself. Don't be in denial. But allow God to speak into your life to bring change. More tips on correcting the zero state thinking error. I like this one. Accept responsibility. Accept responsibility. Your anger, attitude, and thinking are under your control. No matter what the situation, guys, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. If you're willing to freak out and do something stupid in your fit of rage, then the consequence. You can choose whatever action. You can't choose the consequence. What we do in recovery, or when we're in addiction, we like to choose our consequence. We're clever, eh? We conquer our way out of the consequence. Eh? We negotiate the consequence. So we're willing to make the choices, but we aren't ready to take on the consequence. So one of the ways to change your life is when you end up in a place like this, wherever you end up, it's consequence. Don't negotiate the consequence. Don't. Do not negotiate the consequence. It's principle. Take time to meditate on God's Word every morning. Assess your thinking. See what you're thinking about, man. Critical, angry, resentful, painful, or gloomy thinking serve to feed your depression. If you're feeling down today, or you're taking a strain today, look at what you're thinking. I mentioned to someone recently, every time they don't feel well, I said to them, what are you thinking about? And I think they started realizing that every time they don't feel well, or they feel they need medication, they realize that they are thinking about a particular situation. And I'm willing to bet you that every time you feel down or out, etc., etc., you're thinking about a particular situation. You're thinking about something that's causing the depression. Who's thinking about it? You think about it. You can choose what you think about by paying attention. That's what the enemy does. He gets us to focus on everything else but what's going on inside of ourselves. Develop true intimacy with family and friends. A big thing. Develop true intimacy with family and friends. It's difficult for some of us. I've seen a loved one of mine, when they hold my kids or they give me a hug, I can feel that there's a disconnect, like they struggle with it. But I know they struggle with it because of what happened when they were younger. Avoid over-introspection and over-preoccupation with self. Yes, that's the thing about weed. Wow. It's super introspection weed. I remember once that I really believed, especially when I was a teenager. I believed the more I smoke, the cleverer I'll get. So I gathered a lot of cleverness. It got me nowhere though. Because you don't develop character with that cleverness. You can smoke weed until it comes out your ears. And you can develop, you can figure out how this TV works from scratch. I mean, you can know and you go, oh, I got it. But guess what? The weed smoking doesn't give you the character to carry out whatever you learn. It actually takes away from your character. You become rebellious. You don't follow instruction. The most rebellious people I've met is not people that are on meth for 10 years. It's people that smoke tons of weed. Because they don't have the character to carry out what they've learned. So they've worked out the TV works, but they're, oh man, I don't feel like making the TV now. That's what happens. Oh, no, you're telling me that's how it works. And you don't do anything. And you gather all these things to build stuff, and you've got these big plans to build a spaceship. And then you're 80 years old smoking a joint, still thinking how are you going to make the spaceship. If you notice, it takes away from, it takes your strength away. It's still a mind-altering substance. It's still a mind-altering substance. And God's giving you the talent and the ability by His grace to do whatever you need to do. You don't need add-ons. Okay? You don't need add-ons. Add on the joint here, and add on the six-pack here. You don't need the add-ons. It's truth. You're better than that, man. It says in Scripture that it says that whatever you submit to has mastered you. Who wants to? We're all proud of making our own decisions, and it was my choice why I'm here. I can leave anytime I want to. Whatever your vibe is, if they're okay, lacquer, why don't you leave drugs? It became your master. It's your master. And the only way you're going to be set free from these things is submit to God, to submit to the divine viewpoint. See, submission or being mastered by something is fine, but in the right way. Your master, your king, your Lord should be something, the person that created you, the person that loves you, not the thing that wants to destroy you. Make correction in your behavior. Your thinking and behavior are mutually supportive. Get that? Thinking and behavior must line up. We tend to say a lot and say we're going to do a lot and do nothing. It must start lining up, and it is an effort, man. Guess what gets in the way? The way you feel. Hey? Does that sound like a person of character? Oh, I don't feel like it today. Does it sound like a person of character? That's what we do. This like ticked us off now. This like irritated us, so we don't have to do it anymore. That's what we do. It's the truth. It's the truth. Live with an attitude of gratitude. Become involved in ministering and helping people. I think it's one of the biggest things to stay in your recovery. Mark my words. Listen to me. I'm not saying you must be full-time in ministry or run an NA group, but be involved in some way where you're giving back. That's one of the most important things to stay on the road of recovery. For many people, when they leave, they're on fire and they're doing this and they're going here and they're going to do this and it's fantastic. They're fine. As soon as they stop doing it, things start happening. As soon as they stop being involved, as soon as they want to pretend nothing ever happened. Accept your humanity. Learn to laugh at yourself, situations, and people. Learning to laugh at yourself is fantastic, trust me. It's fun. I'm sure you heard me make statements here, and when I was younger it would have been embarrassing. It's funny, man. We're not perfect. We make mistakes. Laugh at it. Don't laugh when you're stolen $1 million. But laugh at the right things. Oh, not a big deal. Ralph says I must laugh about it. No, relax. Talk to your essential person. There's power. Your essential person, accountability. There's always someone you can be accountable, someone you can look to. Someone that tells you as it is, man. So that they won't be like, oh, shame, come on. Now someone will tell you, hey, come on, you're an ass. That's what you need in your life. How many of you have those people in your life? Yeah, you're forced to have this. Yeah, you're forced to have this in your life. So when you leave, who's in your life? Because many times when we don't like it, we just walk away. There's many people that try and speak into our lives, and because of our behavior, we just walk away from it. Accountability is very important. And there's power in prayer. Consider these powerful words by Dr. Hart. You cannot control your feelings directly, Only indirectly through your thoughts. It's an effort. It's an effort. Okay, change. Get at me now. Go. No. You've got to, on purpose, start thinking about the right things. I speak as a psychotherapist, and my estimate is that about 75% of the psychotherapy delivered across the country is of little value, precisely because it focuses too much on past hurts, unmerited self. That word's going to be too difficult to me. Who wants to say it to me? Go. Gordon, go.
Sure.
Come on, go. Anybody who wants to do it? Who wants to say it?
Aggrandizement.
Who said it? Aggrandizement. Okay, unmerited self-aggrandizement and a culture of anger enhancement. When you focus on your life, that's the thing I hated about meth. Yes, you focus on whatever pissed you off. By the time that you've already killed like half the family, burnt down houses, you haven't even left your room yet, and you're like super like, whoa! And then you're too tired afterwards to go any further. It would be a lot more effective if it focused on the present and what a troubled person can do to change unhappy circumstances. In short, change your thoughts first, and the desired feeling will follow. What do we do when we're in drug use now? Change our feelings first. We don't use drugs, or get involved in another relationship, or change our thoughts first. Feelings are the consequence, not the cause. Feelings are the consequence, not the cause of our emotional problems. This truth opens up a whole new world of freedom and control for all of us. The word circumstance is to dissect the word. Let me dissect the word for you. Circumstance means the circle you are standing in. So if you're standing in a circle, and this is your circumstance, let's try rocket science work here now. If you don't like the circle you're standing in, you stand in the circle and complain. You standing in the circle. It's a lot deeper than that. Oh, Jericho. Hear me. Because at any time, the circle you're standing in won't be a big deal to you. Let someone irritate you, let your emotional discomfort be there, the circle becomes irritation for you. It's your choice to change what you think. Your circumstances will change. Amen. Okay, Father God, I want to thank you for this opportunity to speak of your word and the principles that you've blessed us with. I thank you, Lord, that we are people that work the principles, that live the principles. And I think it would change our lives. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.